working on the second set remote kit for an M6800 Kubota, which is basically an old school 1 series back version of the M7040, and it's pretty much M6800, M7040 to the M7060, which is what's currently made. They're very, very similar. So all we're working on is taking this top plate off from the remote set. We're going to add another valve in between and then put this top plate back on. The top bolts, there's 3 of them. Those get replaced with studs, and that's pretty much it for adding the actual remote itself. The controls get a little bit more interesting because you have to run a cable up through under the cab and add another lever to the hydraulic right here, up high for the actual control. And that's what we get to work on. So I am going to dig into that next remote box. So this kit comes with a nice oil to death valve bank and a kit with, oh, this is interesting, the 6040 didn't have this. This guy has a plate. Alright, so what I'm noticing, looking at this, the difference between the 6040 bank that I did, which should be the same as the M7040, is the valves are much thicker on that. So that might be a spacer plate to go between the valves so they don't hit each other. Interesting. That is different. Well, I guess I'll have to read the direct instructions on this one. I thought I'd get away without looking at those, but that's different enough from my last one. I am actually going to read the instructions again. I thought it would be identical, but slightly different. Close, but different. Yep. The saying it goes underneath this guy. It's got a groove for its own O-ring, then the block has an O-ring, and it goes on. Cool. Simple enough, just slightly different. So I see one O-ring on top. There must be an O-ring in the bag with the valve bank itself. So that's the O-ring that must go with the spacer. And every one of those kits comes with a set of caps. 2 auto dedenting couplers, just like my other kit had. One lever, pins, washers, 2 mounting screws to hold the plate on that holds the cable, and that's something slightly different, is 2 rubber plugs. That's different. I'll have to figure out where the 2 little rubber plugs go. So the cool thing is this kit was listed for a few different models, and even though this is a 6800, this kit that they sent is for an M95S, M105S, M96S, an M108S, and an M6S111. So any of those models would work as well. So it's kind of interesting that it's a little different than the M40 series ones. Alright, so if I remember right, there's a 14mm and 2 12. So let's grab a socket and just get going.
Daddy.
Yes, sir.
Wanna the bike outside ride the one I did done with the tractor?
Yeah.
Would you do that for me?
Make sure the lights are off, you said?
No, put my bike out here when I'm done riding on the tractor, I said.
You want your bike? Cool. Hey, where'd you find? Oh yeah, the big one.
Is that the real one? Is this the the real time?
So we don't reuse any of the original hardware. There's a stud assembly that comes in their valve control kit. So don't make the mistake of assuming it's going to be in the valve bait kit, which is here. It's actually on the control kit that actually has the studs and the fastening hardware. Gave me a little bit of a setback of me trying to figure out where those studs were. So I looked in the other kit. 12mm. We're going to leave that one in there so things don't move around too much. I made the mistake last time removing them all. If you remove them all, this thing just shifts all over the place and then you're cleaning off O-rings and trying to get things to seal again. So if you leave one bolt in place as you replace the studs, I'll show you why in a second. Off camera, I'm just opening up thin little box that they have the valve in, control kit in. It's got a cable, and a little bag of hardware. And in this bag of hardware should be the stud set for this. Alright, so last kit I did was 2 sets of studs. I'm assuming they did the same kit for the third valve function, so they sent 3 sets of studs. This is just that new handle in there, leaving that. And then we go in the cab. Alright. So I'll see how many different types of studs they gave us. Oh, this one's got bolts too. Let's see if it's studs and bolts or what. One set of studs, one set of bolts. That's different. Cool. So I'm guessing if we're only adding 2, I'm guessing the bolts are going to be shorter, and that they are. So the stud kit must be for when you add the third valve. Neat. Alright, so they always have included so far in here a set of lock washers to go in each one of these things. That's all I'm just grabbing. Wipe everything down with a rag, get it cleaned up. We're adding a valve. Because our baler and our mower and hopefully a new manure spreader all take, new to us manure spreader, all take 2 control valves. We could add a funky splitter out here.
But put one of
honestly,
these things back on it.
Yep.
So
Honestly,
we
I like
can
good looking
run
things.
the header.
Can you not touch that for right now? Because I don't want you shifting things any more than we have to, okay? Don't touch. Thank you, Roger. Alright, top lock, which we get to reuse. Keeping it clean. Don't touch that either. Cleaning up the mating surface. The only thing different between 240 series ones, 6040 and 7040, is that you don't need to put the spacer block in. So, let's grab and get that spacer block out. See that? Over that goes with it. What do you think, Roger? Do you want to mow hay with this thing? Or do you want to bale with this one? Anything? You want it? Alright. So here's the spacer plate. I am going to pick up some gasket maker. Oh, it's going to be another tractor. That's overkill. Anyhow, they have anaerobic Loctite, which I quite commonly will put on O-ring Rubbermaided surfaces. I know it's not supposed to be used for that, but ever since I was told to do it with a steering pump rebuild on a 1066 of ours, it's worked so well. That steering pump has leaked so little and done so fantastic. I've kind of using it a lot more for rubber to metal seals. All right, osmoline to death, probably. Whatever. Rust fluids on this thing. Good clean O-ring. Alright. The actual bolts. Well, 15 years of grime. Alright. Small bolts. Oh, the white set. Yeah, I'm my youngest. I'll pause this up. So we got our valve bank installed. So, not impressed with this kit compared. Roger, stop for a second. Not impressed with this kit compared to the other ones. There's like less than a 1/4 inch of thread going into that base plate.
It's not the same as the one you put in the other tractor?
No, they're different styles. So the other one ran studs, and they gave me studs, but that's if there's a third valve. So it would have stuck out that much past. That's how it looked right there. Which would be great if I had a third valve. So the other one gave me 2 stud kits. This gave me a stud kit and a set of bolts. And
Why is it different?
This valve bank that came on the M6800 is skinnier, so it has a spacer that I have to put in. So when they put these couplers in, they don't hit each other. You see that spacer right there, Ruth?
Yeah.
So the other one, the valve banks are so thick you don't need a spacer. It's already spaced apart and you're good to go. And that's why I was just making sure on video I explained it was different. So I'm just going to gently tighten this thing down. We'll get some torque on that main bolt in front. I'm going to put it on 1. Low torque. 2, medium torque. I think that's probably tight enough. I'll come back and torque that down a hand in a moment. That's going to require some extra time. I'm trying to get this done to go spend time with kids. So, having done this before on the other tractor, I learned the hard way. I don't have an adjustable metric wrench that size, so it's easier to install one, use a crude pipe wrench technique to tighten her down, install the other one, and use the pipe wrench technique to tighten her down. So you have to tighten to the right, and a pipe wrench only works in the direction you want to go. You have to do the farthest one to the right first. One down. When you get an engine jack, you like those tether tines? That's baler time. Oh, it's so much faster second time around, even with changes. Plenty tight. I do need to get another set of these, those bottom ones. These things are awesome. I'm sure they make better kits, but it's the first tractor I ever had, or anything like this, with actual snap caps on them. So the nice thing about them, they click past and they gauge, so when you put them in, you just click it past, it stays on. That's awesome. That one though, especially close to 3-point hitch arms. I don't know if that's all the way up or not. Father's tractor. I don't run it as much as I do my own. Face and side opposites. Can't do them top to bottom or anything else like that, so hit the bottom snap caps when they're properly installed. But on this one, the bottom ones are missing. I guess you can do anything, but a normal one you can't. Still in one thing, a little bit off. It's in sequence. Still doesn't matter though. It's that clamp. Oh, I put it on first. Same thing I did on the other tractor. It's easy to put this cable mount on before installing it, but still works. So the lever control arm that the cable comes down to is pretty simple. Same thing as on the other tractor, 2 pins. Done. Fun part is getting the little tiny pins and washers on the bottom side. Give me 2 sets of washers. So I should eventually put a washer in each one of those pins. Done. Besides torquing down this little 10mm bolts, everything else in here is in the cab. Still not sure what those little rubber plugs are for. You know, cable's the only thing that's going to push it through. The loop end stays out, the other end goes in. This one has no grommets or anything. The other tractor has a nice set of grommets to go through. Let's see what's in here. Bank grommet underneath the bottom of this thing. Cap. You do. Loop up and around. So I just gotta figure out how to pop this off without breaking anything. Hopefully, hopefully I don't. Nice. Oh, that's so much easier than the other one. So far, this tractor is so much nicer to work on. Way more room. The cab is bigger than the other one, so that makes sense. So I've got a 10mm. So on these shifter levers, for the, I should say, hydraulic control levers, it's pretty simple. On the 40 series Kubotas, there's a clip you gotta remove, as well as a retaining bolt. This one, it looks like I take the retaining bolt out, remove a spacer, slide it back in, put retaining bolt, and done. No fancy little snap ring to deal with, and nothing. So much easier. And if you're wondering why I'm using the closed end, it's one of those stupid combination 3/8 10mm wrenches that's only a combination on the box end, not on the open end. So, done. Pull it out. Nice. Drop out the spacer. Grab the handle. Yeah? Well, that's weird. Oh, it's a drop out of pulse. Cool. Slide back in the shaft. Well, I can tell that new bushing is nice and tight. Alright. Oh my god. There we go. Grab the other lever. Done and done. Alright. That was a heck of a lot faster. I still was messing around with the snap ring on the other one. So cool. hope I never need a third function.
You won't.
She won't let me buy anything that needs three because she knows it costs $1,000. Poor machine. Yeah.
The way parts prices are going up, it'll probably be more than that.
Very sad but true. So the only kicker with this machine, the other one that was super simple is the cable is already up here. This one, I gotta figure out where the hell the cable is. Well, that might get more comprehensive. Does it have an access panel that you can remove? Or just remove the whole panel? Can you put that on? You have to hold it. Something. I'll tell you what, if you're able to put that on a stand where you can see what we're doing, I could use you on the other end of this piece. I think I might be able to get at it if I remove this panel.
Where is it at?
Try anything right there at the end of it. I need a bigger Phillips. Are you willing to grab that Phillips on the floor over there? I think it might be bigger.
You don't have anything to just reach down and grab
But
it?
I have to put the nut on it over here anyhow, so I need to get this panel open.
Alright.
So if you're willing to hand me
Phillips.
the bigger Phillips, I think I got one right there on the floor.
Okay, give me a second. I'm getting old.
It's that orange chewed handled thing. I think it's bigger. It looks slightly bigger. Oh, it bites better. Not big enough. Like second or third drawer down in my toolbox, there's a drawer just of screwdrivers. Yeah. Yes. Maybe.
Metal on the end of it. So
Maybe. Oh, nice job. Yep, that's the right one.
good, what can I say?
Oh,
By
that's
the way, Roger has my Dollar Tree trowel and is deepening your drainage ditch and dumping it on your cardboard box out here. And then he's wiping it off.
That kid's awesome. So all this is mounting the cable right there. Done. All right. So usually the clamp. Oh, this one doesn't use it. So the other kit. This different, an extra component there, which we're not gonna need. So we're gonna need a nut and a nut. Should be two. All right, regular nut.
We
goes-
should not be doing it this late at night and get a little slap happy.
I just want it done with. This next week's gonna be the barn. Trying to match the other one. Something like that. Huh.
Roger, what are you doing?
Nice. All right. Pliers.
Ow. Hit my head on the mirror again.
Hey, I moved my mirror. If you look, I moved the mirror forward for you.
Oh, nice.
I knew you were hitting your head on it. So.
Oh my gosh, every single time I got it in and out.
That's mounted. This is close to identical to the other one, so I just gotta torque it down one way or the other. Shoot, I don't have my adjustable, so we're just gonna use Leatherman. Come on. All right, I should have a little adjustable on my ground over there. Yeah, the big flat box has a little adjustable in it. And if I have that, I'm done installing on this end. I just get the covers back on. Super cool. That end of things I am done with. So I might as well put that cover. Hey, oops, sorry buddy. No, big flat box. You You didn't pay any attention to me when I talk.
That is a big flat box.
It's okay.
Pay attention to you when you talk.
You're
That is a
adorables.
big flat box.
I think you're so cute. Done. That looks pretty good. Thank you, ma'am. Almost there. Just be able to get the other end of this. Turning it backwards. So yes, maybe I should have taken the panel off first. Make it too big. Shrink it back down. Alright. Now we can get the other one onto it. Same deal. Too big. Get it on. Shrink it back down. I can do this one more time in the back and we're done.
You told me this was the last step.
It's a lot easier. It takes 5 seconds.
You keep adding steps on. That's the third step you've added.
Well, I was hoping it was going to be identical to the other one. And, oh, lo and behold, it wasn't. But it was close. Oh my gosh. Is that cable sheet just spinning on me? That's probably what's going on. Can you grab that cable on the other end? The free one out there? I think it's just spinning. I think I'm sitting here. Okay. The free one that's coming out?
Black or gray?
Darkest one. Try spinning it.
It was spinning on you because I can feel a torque on mine against the
Yeah, I
hand.
thought you were trying. Oh.
I'm counter resisting.
Alright. I was trying to figure out why I was taking so long. I should have been just about done. Alright, I can't move good enough. Cover back on. Lift arms. Going. There. Now we get to just install it on the back and be done. So we have the cable mount right there. So it's 2 little bolts, 10mm heads to hold it on to that valve body we just installed. I really should have a socket for this. I might have to go find one. So I gotta get under behind that. Be right back. Welcome to, I don't know if that's really going on. Ahead of that. So we're gonna mix that metal. It's not gonna work that way. Shoot. But maybe I can get the boxed end. Yep. Talk about slow. So, done. All right, last step, try to match what was done on the other valve is sliding her into the mounts, torquing it down, adjust it better later, installing that. There should be a washer and a 40p in the bag right there. And I am ready for dinner.
Done. 4-wheeler ride first.
Yes, ma'am. And I gotta
Go look out at the cows during the sunset.
torque down those bolts and let's just see what it feels like. Alright, back up for a second. I'm gonna test it from up top. Oh, that feels great. Full throw, full throw, full throw, full throw. It almost matches the other lever to a T, just slightly off on how far down it can go. So, That's the only adjustment I need to make, and I might be able to make that right here. So grab that little adjustable. Since I'm guessing, since the other ones worked great, that's the only throw adjustment I need to make.
Why is Roger carrying around a roll of toilet paper on his screwdriver?
Because it looks like a bail to him.
Oh, that makes sense.
So he calls it his bail.
That roll of dirty toilet paper would have been worth a lot of money not very long ago.
Alright. Not perfectly the same. Snuggish. It's close. That last little bit of adjustment would have to be done in that cab if it's a problem. I don't think it's going to be. Let's test it again. That looks identical. Full throw. You can feel a click. You can feel a click. That is awesome. Now it's going even further up.
I was gonna say it's actually more off now.
Yeah. And it went. Interesting. All right. Let's just see what happens if we go the other way real quick. Second adjustable. Hey, don't lose all my sockets. Put it back.
So you know how like an hour and a half ago you said you were 20 minutes away from being done?
Was it an hour?
Huh?
How much was the film?
It was at least an hour ago. No, my point is...
That was an hour of film?
Well, I haven't been filming the entire time. Can you let me finish what I'm trying to say? Point is that is why when you tell me how long you're going to be at the barn on a project, I always double it and then add an extra 50%. You're usually right about... Right.
Oops,
Ow.
So that valve doesn't let it go anymore. So if I want to adjust it, match the other one for throw to throw, it's right there, about there. Done. Throw to throw. Alright, cool?
Beautiful.
Watch your toes.
You're trying to break my foot?
Can't run away from me then.
I also can't stand in the kitchen and cook.
Ooh, that's terrifying. You need closed-toe shoes.
Steel-toed boots at all times.
Let's say I bought you enough shoes. You shouldn't be out here with open toes.
But I like them.
All right, done. All right.
You done?
New valve bank, couplers, caps, control cable run, and the lever installed. And that is for an M6800 Kubota, which is apparently the same as a whole host of the M series. So far we've done the two styles I believe that are available. One that fits the M6040, M7040, and everything else is on the other tractor, and everything else matches down to these two that we've done, which is according to the dealership, there are only two types available currently. So
Perfect.
done.
Nice job.